What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Roundtable, episode 81. We are back at it right here live with you guys again. We're going to talk about some current events. If you guys have anything you want us to touch on, drop it in the chat. I see Cultura Cafe got the first comment in, so welcome, Cultura. And right behind him is the Crusted Joint. Good to see you, Crust. Haven't seen you in a minute. Nice to see you guys. We're going to jump right on in. Cultura's already clowning. Okay, let me bring in the surprise guy every week. Here he comes. Watch out. Who can it be?
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
good. How you doing, Denise? I'm Denise. I'm sorry. How you doing, Jen? God, I was like, it's the hair. It's the hair.
I'm
Sorry.
good, House. How are you?
Right? I know, right? I was like,
Right?
oh, well, I'm sorry about
Right?
that. Oh,
That's
we got off to
hilarious.
the start of the life here.
Right?
I'm
Speaking
sorry, Jen. Oh
of,
man, no, good. Thank you. Been good. How about yourself? I'm sorry. Oh
I'm
man.
good. Today's a good day. Today's a good
Uh,
day.
yeah, no, yeah. That it is confusing, but it's a good day. I think it's a time
Right?
change. I think
I
it's a
think
time
it
change.
is. It always throws me a little off too, but we'll touch on
Right.
that. Let's bring in
No,
our blonde bombshell. Speaking of the missus herself, here she goes.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
Like, damn, Fred, don't be too sorry.
I was like, hey, no,
She
it's
takes
the
it
hair,
as a
guys. It's the hair.
compliment.
It's the light
You
hair,
know
guys.
what?
Sorry.
It's true though. The time change
Yeah.
always gets me like a little off with things. I don't
Yeah,
know what it is, but it does something. It does
yeah.
something.
Trying to catch up with the sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, catching up with sleep. So basically, we lost an hour of sleep, right? On Sunday, the
Yeah,
time changed at 2 in the morning. So it's dark when we get up pretty much, and it stays light longer. So
yeah.
that's what it's been so far. And I don't know. I feel like I'm adjusting all right. Just a little bit of confusion with some things, but oh,
What do
good.
you guys think though? Or do you guys like this hour better, or the I think it's darker faster?
I like
How do
when
you
dark
feel?
and faster.
Really? You know
Yeah.
what? I feel like I normally did like the darker, faster, but I was ready for a time change. I needed some
Yeah.
sunshine, like longer days. Yeah.
I'm a vampire, man. I like it to get dark fast. You know, I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
vampire. That's just what it is. I just
Yeah.
the sun, especially during the summer. It's like, oh God, please. So,
I know,
yeah.
right? Yeah. If you guys are coming in, hit the like, let us know you're here. Go ahead and hit the share so we can get this out to more people. Let them know we're live because we're still working our way back into the algorithm being out for a while. So let's just kind of jump into it and chop it up, talk about our week. Fred, how was your week? What did you have going on? Anything exciting?
Oh man, you know what? It's been it's been a great week actually. Very good week. I spent a lot of time with the girlfriend and did a bunch of things here and there. You know,
Hmm.
not a bunch of things, but you know, just quality time. But other than
Yeah.
that, I mean, it's been a real good week. It's been busy. I've been busy, real busy with a lot of things that I got going on and stuff, and of course with my dogs and stuff, like three little dogs and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
it's been I had no appointments this week, but excuse me, I did well, I had to get one of my cars smogged,
Oh,
and so I did that, and everything's good. I
okay.
paid my tags on my vehicles, and that's not good because it's expensive. You know, it's expensive to pay for all
Oh
these
yeah.
cars. You know, like, oh man.
Yeah.
But I'm taking care of business and doing what's got to be done. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we got to do. I
And
noticed
so much.
it was, I don't know if I was tripping, but I feel like it was more expensive this year when I paid for my tags.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was off, but it was not fun paying for my tags this year either. So,
No, definitely. Oh, and I got for those that might question later. I got my little death row chain,
oh, look at you.
death row record chain,
That's right.
and yeah, actually, you know what, guys? I got a uh,
There you
some
go.
news announcement. I got signed to Death Row Records. I'm kidding. I'm
Right?
kidding. I know. I didn't need to come back. It's okay. I'm lying. No.
She got scared. He scared her right there. Look at the triangle table. I know, Cholo. We're at the triangle table right now. If you
There
guys
is the triangle table.
on the
I
setup,
know, man.
Triangle
Yeah.
table.
Jump on
check out
board.
last week's
No,
episode.
if anybody ever, I'm not gonna walk around anywhere with this thing. I just work for fun. But yeah, in the event of me forgetting and going somewhere, please don't hurt me. It's not real, guys. Okay, just just,
Right?
trust me,
They
it's
don't
not
care.
worth it.
Shoot.
It's not worth it.
Imagine getting jumped for a chain and it wasn't like you're like it's not real. They're like, yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's not real. I'm not gonna fake the fun, and be like, oh yeah, I'm this and that, and already,
yeah.
no,
There we go. Jojo in the house. Hey,
yeah.
Jojo.
Hey, Jojo, good to see everybody.
Party.
Yeah, man.
Right. Okay. To help out you, what do you have going on? Anything exciting?
Man, nothing new. Kind of just de-stressing myself this weekend. Just stood home. We didn't do much. Ran errands.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't do much. Just like I said, just trying to de-stress. And my mom's doing good. She's feeling okay. So that's the main thing that matters right now is that she's feeling
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, definitely. That's always good news.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Definitely.
Like I said, just trying to just relax and get my focus back, on
Yeah.
things other than my mom. But
Yeah. We got to do it, right?
yeah,
We got to do it. I don't think I mentioned last week, but I got another family member. I got a little dog that was my stepfather's. So I got 3 dogs now.
oh wow.
wow.
So my life legit has been like wake up, feed the cats, feed the dogs, feed the kids.
Oh no.
It's yeah.
Oh man.
No,
How old is the dog? How old's your dad's dog?
I think she's about 8 years old, maybe 7. She's a little dog, and I've never had little dogs before. So
yeah.
she's like right on my heels, chasing me everywhere.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah.
dog is it?
Yeah.
She's a mix between like a Lhasa Apso and some kind of terrier. I'll have to post a
Oh
picture.
my god, I heard that dog before.
But she's funny. She's laughs to look at because she's got a really bad underbite. So her teeth stick out like real bad, like a bulldog. But she's a little fluffy dog. So
cute.
But she was his sidekick. So she was with my grandma first and like kicked it next to her, and then when she passed, another puppy, my stepdad took her on, and then she always laid next to him right there in his bed. So now I'm like, well, yeah, we got to keep her in the family. She's been there for, a couple of us. So
Yeah.
What did you do?
That's crazy. You got 3 dogs. How many cats?
Girl, I have
Ruby Ruby's. Are they Ruby's cats?
I had Ruby's kind of over it right now. She's becoming a preteen, so she's kind of like she got her ears pierced this weekend. I'm like, who is this? She had them pierced when she was a baby, but she pulled them out, and I never got them done again because it freaked me out. I couldn't find them after she pulled them out of her ears when she was little. So she got her ears pierced, and she took it like a champ.
Oh wow.
Yep. There you go. Every home needs 3 dogs.
I had 3 dogs as well. The 2 weenie dogs and the Shih Tzu.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You have one too. Okay.
3 of them. Yeah. And the Shih Tzu, which is named Ewok, he has an underbite as well, and he just stares sometimes with a little underbite, and it's like,
That's funny.
That is funny, right?
Toby's like the Myrtle dog. I have Toby the Tube. He wants the attention for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So if he hears me mentioning, Ewok or Max, right, the other 2 dogs, he turns around like Lawrence Fishburne in What's Love Got to Do with It? Because that look like Like, what do you know? We're getting attention here. Like, he kind of regulates a little bit. He's just, yeah. They all have their little personalities,
Yeah.
They all have their personalities, and Max just kind of stares at me,
Cute.
yeah.
That's cute.
Wait, so you have Toby, Max, and who else?
And he walked.
And Ewok. Okay.
Yeah,
Ewok's quiet. I never heard you yelling at Ewok.
Well, yeah, because he just kind of just like that. Yeah, he just kind of lays around, Max and Toby, man, they're just. I always say Max and Toby and Max, but it's just, yeah. So it's just.
Cool.
That's good. Denise, what'd you do this week? Anything exciting you want to tell us about?
What am I doing this week?
What did you do this last week?
Oh, this week, I'm telling you, I didn't do anything. I stood home. Sunday we went shopping, of course, catch up on some household stuff that we needed. But just chilled out. I just didn't do anything. I was just so my mind has been so overwhelmed and so exhausted. It just that, you just need that time to regroup, and that's what I needed. I just needed to regroup, just remember,
Yeah, for sure.
just remember that God's in control of it all. And at the time, we panic and we stress and we do all this stuff, and then I catch myself saying, Lord, forgive me for that. Because I know that, I know that he wants everything that we carry, told to him. So we got to remember to do that. And, like I said, at the time, I think we're all like that. We're human beings and we just panic. But I want to thank everybody though, for their prayers that they, put out to my mom. Thank you guys, every one of you guys. Cause she called me right now. She's like, I go, what are you doing? She goes, I baked some cookies. And I said, oh man, she said, your favorite. That's why I called you. And she showed me the peanut butter cookies. They look like silver dollars. They're so big.
Wow.
Just eat one. She's like, just one.
Like, thanks a lot for showing me, right?
But yeah, I'll be there. I told her I'm there to pick them up tomorrow. Okay.
Aw,
So,
right on. That sounds good. Maybe I'll make some cookies tonight.
yeah, they're simple, and they're so good.
Yeah.
We have that in common, though, the peanut butter ones. We have that in common. Yes.
Praise for all the
I mean,
moms.
there's like 3 ingredients: flour, egg, the peanut butter, and I think that's it, you guys.
Yeah.
And you know what, disclaimer, guys, I know people look at, probably looking and be like, Fred, we know you have more than one favorite. No, I'm kidding, anyway.
Hey, that chocolate chip one first. I love chocolate chip first.
You can never go wrong with chocolate chip.
Second one. Yeah. I'll say my homie. My husband just brought home a bunch of Girl Scout cookies from his coworker, and I'm like, oh, why did you bring all these cookies?
But did you hear what they're saying about the Girl Scout cookies?
Yes, they found so many toxins in there.
Are you gonna risk it? Yeah, they found crazy stuff in them.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, like chemicals, like stuff we can't even say. Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
that's what they
said.
That's
what they're addicting, man. That's what they're addicting.
Yeah, I can't cut back on them now. Not now.
Right? Not now that they're in the house. Right?
Yeah. No.
We got to enjoy. We just can't overindulge,
Yeah, for sure. So tomorrow is the big day for my daughter. She has her driving test. You guys, please. I'll say a prayer, fingers crossed, because this mom is tired of.
Oh, yeah.
I'd do it for the rest of their lives. But if I had another driver under the roof, that would be great.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I drove my daughter, probably about 20 minutes every morning to and from work. So I would pick her up and bring her back. And it was like, it gets exhausting, but
yeah, it does. I wouldn't mind as much, but like the night she works, like tonight, I got to wait up till midnight to go get her. And then I got to get up at 5:30 in the morning. So I have a little bit of trouble sleeping anyway. So it makes it a little tiring, but it was cute. We were driving, practicing, right? And the car that she's practicing in is my Impala, not an old one like that, but it was one that my real dad had got me, and I still kept it. It's always like she's our old faithful, And my daughter was like, Mom, she's driving. She's like, can you believe it? Like, your dad bought this for you, and now he's providing something for me to drive, and he's not here, not even here. I'm like, that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So,
Hey, Floyd.
passes. Hey, Floyd, how are you?
Yeah. Good to see you,
Good to
Floyd.
see you.
Hey, and you know what? Shout out to Floyd. I missed it last week when he said he had subscribed to my channel. So thank you for that, man. I didn't see it until I watched the replay. So
All right. That's
yeah.
right. We appreciate you. That's
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
And then we got G. Lou. How are you? He says, hey, what's up,
So, my
family?
brother, good to see you, man. Thank you.
Yes, God bless. Are you going to be on his show this week, Fred?
Yes, on Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
All right. Make sure you guys tune in and check that out.
Yeah. We'll make it a good one, man. Make it a good one. Show you guys the other side of Fred, and not a bad side, but
Wild Fred?
you know.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Not too bad. Not too bad.
what's the other side of Fred? What are we going to see?
The music side of Fred, like
That's so interesting. It's so interesting how Fred has that the music part, and then this guy, he's a movie fanatic.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kind of info,
He's like
huh?
up there with my husband.
You know what? That's the thing. You know what? It's funny because that's the thing that I'm music and movies, man. That's my thing, and I think it rubbed off on my nephew as well because he's the same way. Music and movies, man. It's just yeah.
That's
Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, I can start quoting stuff like sometimes and it just starts going from there.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. I can't wait to see it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to be doing it. Hey,
Yeah,
sure.
for
My
sure.
husband watches all the movies. I'm not a movie person. I just I don't know what I need to get back into something. It's just that my life, like it went from like taking care of my girls to then taking care of his grandma, and then just like trying to find something that I like to do. And it's hard because I like everything. I like to do a lot of stuff. It's just that I got to focus on something I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I feel like I'm at right now. It's just that I've done this, and this. And of course, we're always going to be mothers, right? We're always going to mother and watch over our children. But aside from all that, like I've been taking care of.
I think she froze for a second.
And that's not something I love if I have to, but it's just that finding something for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're like, do you feel like you're in the in-between phase, like trying to find yourself and find something?
Yeah. That's how I feel.
It's hard though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, you know what? I find myself too sometimes. I gotta really, really, really want to watch a movie to sit down at home and watch it. I get so distracted or doing other things, that I just don't,
Yeah.
But I'll take the time and go to the movies or whatnot. But I'm still in a lot of movies,
Right.
But there's been a couple of good ones this year too, though. But I saw that Captain America one too as well. That was
Not so much.
okay. Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of movie? Like your favorite? I don't know. Is it comedy, drama? What?
You know what? I love really any movie as long as I want to watch it because like I saw movies like there's Den of Thieves 2. I watched Den of Thieves 2.
Okay.
Because I like the first one, which is almost like the movie Heat, but it's just and then that last year, one of the movies I saw too was Terrifier 3. Comedy, it's just really everything. I love the vacation movies and stuff like that. Like, I'm really into anything, really. Some of the stuff that's even. Oh, you know what I saw? You know what I did see was recently was A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. The Bob Dylan. Excuse me, darn. And that was I mean, I like Bob Dylan. You know, he has a unique voice and the way he sings and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm not going to get into a big old thing, but I thought the movie was good. It's just a slow burn, you know. And if you're not really into the music, because that's what it's about, you know,
Oh,
um,
okay.
then people don't really, you know, they're like, oh, this is boring or whatever. I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was okay. You know, it was pretty good. It's kind of hard to top like Bohemian Rhapsody, if you will, you know, or The Doors. You know, the movies are like, to me, they're some of my favorite ones. You know, but
Okay.
I mean, I still like biopics. Straight Outta Compton, obviously. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I did. You know, and I will say this. I will say this. I did like All Eyes on Me, the Tupac
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
it was a little bit I mean, yeah, it did look like it was shot for TV or whatnot. You know, it did go kind of fast. I think it slowed down towards when he signed to Death Row. Ironically, when he signed to Death Row, um, but I think a lot of people missed the point that that man went through so much things in his life that you could make a movie about every little single part of him. You know, and
Mm.
I think they were just trying to get to the Death Row era, which
Mm.
was his demise, unfortunately. You know.
Yeah.
But if you know the story, you kind of fill in the blanks. So you know the timeline of, okay, this is after this situation. This is, so that's how I filled in the gaps. And I enjoyed it, but a lot of people didn't think it was that good. But to each their own.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was winded a little bit, but it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, movie talk. Let's break down the movie Cobra. You guys,
Oh,
I
yes,
did Ruby
yes,
and
yes, yes.
my granddaughter to
Yes.
see the Mufasa movie
Oh,
or
yeah, yeah.
cartoon, and they showed the preview for that one. It's going to be coming out, like the Cobra Kai movie.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah, the Karate Kid legend, no? Legend or something.
Yeah, and it's so weird for me to hear my daughter say that he's hot. I'm like, that's so gross. He's like, I don't know how old he is, but
He's
he's
probably
definitely more older than you
He's in his
guys.
early 60s, I believe. He's in his early 60s.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, he's hot. He's a DILF. I'm like, a
uh,
DILF? And I'm like, no,
oh, that's
dude, my adult daughters. My adult daughters.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
funny.
They just like give me a hard time. Hey, Pearl, good to see you. Much love.
Good to see
They
you.
like,
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely.
wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I send mine right back. God bless you. Good to see
No, yeah.
you. Aw. I'm going to drop down for a second because I'm going to come back up and show you guys something I got. So go ahead and keep talking.
Okay. Okay.
Every time though, Melvin gets me like he'll get me to watch a movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, like he knows me. He knows what I like and what I don't like. So like whatever he puts on, I'm like, right on, this is a good movie. You know, I like that movie. I forgot the latest one we seen. It was a few weeks
No,
back. But,
you know what? I enjoy talking to Melvin, man. We connect so cool that it's like natural back and forth, and he's all, oh man, and he'll be like, hey Fred, you know about this? And I'll be like, yes, and I start, we start, and we can be on the phone for hours as well, too, man.
I know. I heard you guys the other day. I was like laughing because he loves to conversate with you.
No, yeah, definitely. It's always a good thing,
Yeah,
That's good. That's good. So you guys, I know Denise, I've told you, but remember how I told you that I didn't have an iPhone for a long time?
Oh yeah.
You know what I got?
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I finally got my own.
Wait, let's see it. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Has the 3 camera.
Yeah.
Which one
I
is
just
that?
gotta learn to use it now.
Oh yeah.
The 15 Pro Max.
It'll come to you. It looks like mine. It has a 3
very different
camera.
from my Galaxy, right?
Oh yeah. You'll learn how to use it though.
I know, right? I got
So it's your first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's your first iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you went from Android to iPhone.
Right. I mean, I still
Oh,
have my Galaxy because, like, I have to have, you know how our channels are hooked up to the phone number you have for that
yeah.
phone?
Oh, yeah.
So basically, I'll just use this one like for business stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, but
Right
Wow.
on.
yeah.
Wow. Man, you abandoned us over here. I'm an Android guy. You know what, guys? I can't get into the iPhone thing. It's just too.
No,
Yeah.
I'm trying. All my
My mom
kids
still
have
has that
them,
flip phone. I'm like, get rid of that. He said,
hey,
no, I like my phone. Leave me alone. And I said, okay,
right?
well,
Those were
yeah.
the best ones, though. The flip phones, those were always, they were like the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
All
so
right.
cute. My mom has a tablet and she'll like call everybody on her tablet so that we
Mhm.
see each other. It's called Meet. I
Yeah,
don't know if you guys ever seen that.
I
Like
have.
this
Oh, okay.
FaceTime, it's called Meet.
That's
Yeah.
cool. You can do
She'll
that,
call me
right?
on there and she's like just there.
I, I just never got into the iPhone for whatever reason. I didn't. I just couldn't. I just
Mm.
for whatever reason. I mean, I saw my kids have me, you know, and
That's
I
like
see
going from
them
a PC
celebrating.
to a Mac. Like you like you'll get used to it, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
just,
Macs,
hey,
the PCs are oh my god, I thought I'd never get the Mac,
Well,
but
trip out on this. I'm going to tell a little cautionary story, and I'm not going to say who, but this is real. This legit happened the other night.
mhm.
And I don't know too much about iPhones, but thank God my daughter does, right? So a family member of mine gets an alert that goes to her phone. Well, she has an iPhone, but she's not really tech savvy, right? But she
mm,
calls me up and she goes, "Hey, I got this notice that came to my phone 2 times already, and it says somebody's tracking me with a AirTag." And I'm like, okay, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I know an AirTag is like a little thing. And the only reason I know about them is because I have a friend, she's crazy. Like she would drop AirTags in her man's car wherever he went to track him, right?
Oh
She
man,
always tells me
oh,
about, I know where he's at right now. I'm like, girl, you're nuts. So this
hmm.
family member's like really because they were getting, thank you, Pearl, notices that someone's tracking them.
Oh wow.
So of course I load up my girls, we go over and we're like, let's tear it up. Let's tear the place up until we find it. My daughter finds it under the seat in a vehicle.
What? So wait, what is this thing? An AirTag?
So it's like the size of a quarter. That's the first time I ever seen one.
Oh,
But
okay.
I guess maybe you guys in the comments can help explain it better. But I guess it's something you can buy that attaches to your
Yeah,
iPhone.
I know what it is now.
And okay,
Yeah.
well, if you leave it somewhere, like in somebody's car, for example, you can
Mhm.
mhm.
track their entire everywhere they went.
That's what it is. The tracking device.
That's scary
But you
though.
know where that's
It's
at. You know the
very
tracking
scary.
device.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And my daughter was able to look on there and look up who it belonged to. And let me tell you guys, it was shocking.
What?
It
Wow.
was mind blowing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You,
Yep.
you know what? That's a scary part of technology. You know. I mean,
Mhm.
unfortunately, there was a rapper that was unalived earlier
Hmm.
this week by placing his location.
Mhm.
But then you got stuff like this. Technology has reached an all-time high where
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can actually track somebody,
Yeah.
you know, to
Yeah.
to where they're at all times.
Right. So that made me feel really uneasy to see that. I'm like, I don't like that.
Heck no. That's just like that AI stuff, you guys. That takes that's another level. Like,
Yeah.
how do you
Right, Nick?
how do you how do you do that? Like they make it look so real, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
so scary. It's like they turn something that's good into something bad.
I,
Mhm.
Like I don't know.
my
Right. And
friend,
they're really pushing the AI thing. I don't know if you've seen it, Fred, like pop up on your channel stuff, but I know I've noticed it's really being pushed for YouTubers to use chat
yeah,
GBT, AI stuff. They're really trying to,
Yeah.
get people
yeah,
to go in that direction.
I got a notification from YouTube to say, hey, you know what, the AI thing, and I was like, the
Wow.
heck, like, Yeah.
I mean, that tracker could be something good, right? Like if something would happen to you, but not when
Yeah.
somebody's haunting or sneak. Like,
But
that's
if it's from someone that you're like, hey, strange days, good to see you, brother. If it's from someone that you definitely don't want you tracking, and you're able to trace it back to their phone number, it's not a good
Yeah.
feeling.
no.
Well, the first, and I know about those because I found one. Like I said, I'm an Android guy. So when I was driving the school bus, you got to check the bus to make sure there's no kids on board after. So I had stopped and I was checking the bus just to make sure nobody's on there. But you find things on there, kids leave behind, pens and whatever. So I had found one of those tracker things, those yeah, that little thing, and I noticed it had an apple on it, and it even had like its own little case, like a
Yeah.
little bit of paste over it. You just put it in there. That's it. It was just and I was like, oh. So I remember I grabbed it and I actually I put it in my pocket, and I just went and checked, and then when I got home, I was like, oh, what the heck, I was supposed to turn it in. But I knew it was the end of the day, so nobody was in the office and stuff. And I said, no, you know what? So the next morning I went and I turned it in. I said, hey, I found this on the bus, one of the kids. And I guess they had it on the backpack, on
Oh,
the backpack. And that's how the kids kept,
wow.
I mean, the parents, I guess, kept track of their child.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, first day, man, I didn't find out until I came home. I told my son, hey, what is this? And he told me, hey, man, somebody's going to come knocking at the door, I'm like,
Right.
I'm
So
going to
that
take it back to work tomorrow, so.
definitely. Yeah, if that ever happens again, I guess my daughter said this worked. Like she took it apart, like, and took the battery out of it. She's like, okay, now that person can't,
Oh, man.
but still I would get rid of it, because you never know. You never know. But
Well,
just
that's, wow. I mean, you know what? Well, I mean, basically you put them anywhere. Really, you
yeah,
don't even have
it's
to get them in the
pretty
car.
small. Yeah. It's a pretty
It's
small
just,
thing. And like I think Nick had set up here, they make them to come like on your keys, and that's what it looked like. It was like on a little keychain.
Oh, wow.
But that's crazy. So I
yeah.
know that you and Cholo had talked about the case. Is it Gene Hackman and his wife
Oh, yeah, yes. We
dog?
have
But
talked
there's
about the
been an
movie.
update since
Yeah.
then.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Can you fill us in on what they say the cause of death was?
Well, they said it was that the wife had passed due to some kind of disease she had. I forgot the name of it.
It was
Um,
caused by rodents, right? Like a
Yeah.
yeah, by
I
rodents or
forget what
something.
it's
Yeah,
called.
and then she I guess she passed first,
Mm,
Mhm.
and then Gene Hackman, passed later, like a week later or something like that.
yeah.
But then the dog was inside was in his kennel. I think it was
Yeah.
Mm,
probably, he probably starved to death, the poor thing. But
yeah.
the speculation that's came up, just how ironic that they both passed like
Yeah.
around the same time. Like, I don't know if they like they might. Well, I mean, they said there was no foul play, but
That's
I don't know.
crazy
They just
though.
find it ironic. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then
It's
again,
crazy.
who knows? You know.
Hmm. To
You guys,
think that.
honestly,
Mhm.
sorry, honestly, like I was tripping on that, Fred, how it was like happened at the same time. Well,
Uh-huh.
one of I was telling you, Jen, I think one of my husband's homeboys, his dad passed away, and like 2 days later, his mom passed away,
Yeah.
Oh
and
wow.
that was crazy to me. I was like, okay, well, that's the second one, because with Gene Hackman and them, that was the first I've ever heard of something. At first, it was kind of like, what happened? Like, is it foul play or like what?
Mhm.
But no, it was natural. I mean, not natural causes, but
I mean, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah,
She
He had
somehow
heart
came
disease.
in contact with us. I guess the disease she passed from, or virus, is something that you contract from rodents. You can either be bitten by a rodent or come in contact with their
yeah,
droppings or whatever
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
but I've never heard of that before. And to
Neither.
top it off, I looked it up a little bit. It's like Huntington's disease or hunting something like that. But the mortality rate of it is like 58% if you get it. So it's got a very high mortality rate.
Wow.
So
Gee.
I guess it's something that's pretty common in New Mexico. So certain areas, I guess, are more prone to it than others. But crazy. They said if you ever like are in an area where you're cleaning a house that maybe had a lot of rodents or something, God forbid,
an addict or something.
yeah, definitely wear a mask, wear gloves. They even said like wash your hands with your gloves on them and then throw them away and then wash your hands again.
Yeah.
When you're cleaning up. So just keep that in mind. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had Alzheimer's and what? Just
good to see you, Jaime.
Yeah,
He had a bad heart. He had really high blood pressure. So they think it was a combination of all those things for him. But it is sad to think that he was alive for, they said, what, 6 or 7 days that she had already been passed. And he probably didn't even realize, they said with his Alzheimer's being so advanced, he probably didn't even realize that she had passed. That's very sad.
There was also mummification right on her.
Yeah.
So, what they had found. So.
Yeah.
Because she was like, what?
Oh, really?
She was 63 and he was 94 or something?
95.
95.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years. He was 95.
Yeah, that's a lot. What, 20 years difference or what?
30, no? Isn't it 30?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
30.
That's a lot. That's a big
it's a big age. I mean, maybe they lived somewhere like, maybe they wanted to live far away from family. Who knows? But I was just looking out thinking, man, nobody, and not to shame anyone, because God forbid, maybe they wanted to live. I had heard that he was kind of a recluse. He liked to be off by himself, but that was just a rumor also. I don't know for sure, but it's awful to think nobody stopped by, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, to check on them, right? I mean, okay, but see, that's again good point though, Jim. That I think sometimes people think like these mansions in the hills, like say Hollywood Hills and so on and so forth, these big old nice houses and stuff that we see out there in the hills and gated and stuff. Because they're luxurious, people think, oh, this is the best place. They have a lot of problem with rodents and snakes and stuff because they're in their habitat, They're actually really some of them can be infested, Even though don't let the marble floors and the gold lining fool you. Everything that glistens is not gold, it just it looks that way, but they're probably worse off than houses in the city,
Yeah.
So that's the thing too, especially being out there in New Mexico in the desert, and they had the it looked like a nice place.
Yeah.
But, who knows,
Yeah, it definitely did. I'm sure that's going to be I don't know how many kids he had or they had, but I'm sure it's going to bring out, sadly, a death brings out all the freaking cockroaches in a family fighting for everything they don't deserve.
Oh, yeah. No, that's without saying. That's natural, that comes natural in those events, unfortunately,
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
People that just kind of like, people come out of the woodwork, hey, what's in it for me? Kind of deal like, what the heck? Like, I haven't seen you in 5 years.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. But it's true. I mean, one of these days when I can, I'm going to do a video on that alone.
Fun. I'll be right there with you.
Girl, yes. It was something else. But what about, Denise, did you have something that you had read on the Menendez brothers?
Oh, yeah. I read that there's a new district attorney. Let me pull his name up real quick, guys.
Okay.
I want to say George something.
Okay.
Oh, I'm way off. Nathan Hockman. He's a new public defender. Hold on. Let me read. Oh, district attorney. I'm sorry. He's a public defender. He's a new district attorney that is he wants to oppose the resentencing of the Menendez brothers.
Okay.
Because you guys remember Gascon?
Yeah.
Well, he's old. He's an old district attorney. Now there's a new one.
Okay.
And this guy, they're going to go back to court. I guess they were in court yesterday, Monday. They want to go back to court, and I guess he wants the new district attorney, Nathan. He wants the Menendez brothers to confess to everything. He wants them to tell the truth of what happened, how it went down, all these details. He wants to know because they lied before and they lied after when they made that 911 call. I don't know if you guys remember. It's been a while back that they said that somebody killed their parents, right?
Yeah.
And so they were like, go ahead, Fred.
Oh, no. I was just, I hadn't seen Stranger Days in quite a while. It's good to see him. Go ahead.
So anyways, they lied, during their whole trial, whatever. They said somebody killed, then they come up with this molestation thing, and then they just started saying a whole bunch of stuff. Well, this DA wants them to, just tell the truth, be honest, and that's all he wants them to do, before he could even
he wants a
new trial.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it come down to. We thought they were coming out last year. I think it was last year. All this hype about them getting out, and that guy was he was
all for them getting out right away. He even he even said something like they should be home by Thanksgiving. I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
And then Christmas came. Nope, still. But now that he's out of office, this new guy is he just wants more detail. He wants them to pretty much confess to everything that. But I don't understand how they could he could say that to them, like, oh, I want to know the whole truth and all this, when there's a new law, that if they were caught when they were under the age of 25, that what was that law that they
they're only supposed to do so much.
With a life without parole thing. So that's changed. Now you can get now you can go back to the parole board and
but I think they were not being granted parole based on that law. I think they were just going to have their sentence commuted by the governor. So that's a little different grounds. He can try and throw in, okay, well, I'll go ahead and do that. But first, I'm going to need you to tell me this, and this. And it's going to be up to them to be okay, do we really have full clearance? Are we really getting out? I'm sure their attorneys are going to zip all that up before they go saying anything.
He wants fully. He expects fully that he wants them to accept the responsibility for killing their parents.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll give you my piece after.
So, no, they're just ready to go back to court. He said once that they do that, then he'll consider, letting them out. But right now, it doesn't look like they're coming home at all soon.
We'll see what happens then. Yeah. They're going to sit there a little longer than we thought, I guess.
Well, I think too, though, that that's just my personal opinion. I mean, I got no real dog in the fight, other than the opinion of what really happened, or what we're told that really happened. For an attorney to come in and be like, "Hey, look, man, this is the only thing I need you guys to be honest with me." So they're going to stick to their story, which is the way they want to be free, to get out.
Yeah.
And I think that in today's world, we're living in a generation where we tend to kind of forget, that of what really happened there. Now, I'm not saying that, they weren't, abused and etc., you know,
Mhm.
but they had, every access to get away, you know,
Mhm.
but I believe they wanted their cake and eat it too, so
Yeah.
that's the situation. So then at the end of it all, whether it happened or did not happen, that just wasn't a way to go about it, man. They just,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I
And
think it's like, when you're used to a certain lifestyle, I think, I don't know. I just think they could have went about it a different way and sued and still made out like bandits in the sense,
right?
it'd be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They were messy about the whole thing. After they unalived them, they went and spent money that, do you remember?
Like
well,
crazy.
see,
Went on a shopping spree and bought cars and
well,
women
that
and
proves
clothes and
the
watches.
point of it not being believable at that point because anybody that's really look, and I'll say it like this: anybody that's truly been abused, and this
Mhm.
goes for everybody across the board, be it those kind of unfortunate situations, be
Mhm.
it battered women being battered men, because there is battered men and stuff. That would be the last thing on their mind is to do that kind of stuff. I mean, it wouldn't be like, oh, hey, guess what? I got all this money and all the problems go away. It's like,
Mhm.
no, they would want to see, they wouldn't be out there doing what they're doing, like what these guys were doing anyway. That's my opinion about it. That's how I see it. I think
Mhm.
we would focus more on oneself, before, it wasn't about the money. If it was really that bad, they would have focused
Yeah.
on themselves,
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. It's hard to say, like, unless I've thought about it too. Like, if you're in that environment, you would think that with two brothers, maybe one of them would be like, "No, that's a bad idea. We're going to get
Right.
caught." But then again, if those things were happening to both of them, we don't know how much buildup it took to distort their thinking and what possible damage that made on their decision making. And I realize it's a brutal, awful crime scene from what I understand,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It still makes me, I still think I could see people snapping over
Mhm.
something like that. I could see it imploding and something terrible happening.
Hmm.
I
yeah, yeah.
I
Go ahead.
get it with the money thing. The money part does make it look bad,
Yeah.
but it's still something about it. I think, I don't
Well,
know.
What does Cholo
well,
have to say?
I agree with you on that, but see, here's the thing. Let's just say the what happened,
Mhm.
and rather than go out and spend all this money and pretend like nothing ever happened and just spending millions, I think the more realistic, and I'm not trying to give ideas, I'm just saying like
Mhm.
it would be like, hey, look, I did this because this and this was happening from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, it's like we just fed up with it, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Hey, it was whatever I out of the moment or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But after the situation, when you're out there without a care in the world, it just doesn't sit well. Like, and I
Right.
think and I think we're much more merciful, because the internet is judge and jury now
Yeah.
in a
Right.
sense. It speaks for
For a
you.
lot of things, right? For a lot of things, that's true.
A lot of things. And then Total Trust, man, you need to come on here because
Yeah, I
Total
know.
always come back with
Right.
something that's like, oh wow,
If
yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys go back, I'll tag it in the community page as well. I had a conversation on Cholo's channel with him and why am I drawing a blank right now?
Hmm.
Pastor Rosa's wife.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Pastor David Rocha,
Cheryl.
yes,
his wife. Yeah,
Cheryl.
Sharon. Yes,
Cheryl.
Sister
yeah,
Sharon.
yeah.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. And we talked about this. So that was a very thank you, Cholo. having mom brain today. Yeah, so that was a good conversation. You guys should definitely check it out because Cholo does end up giving his opinion at the end of it. But I remember thinking, what is he going to say? Because like he let it, he lets it build up and build up to the before he drops it.
Back to this because there's going to be more to it. And I'd like to see the outcome. I'd like to share that too with you guys. But right now, it's just that's what's going on. They're just not releasing them, and they're going to go back to court. This guy, though, he's like not willing to push right now to budge, as far as letting them out or resentencing them.
Right.
Yeah. It just seems like I just think that's that. I mean, I don't know. They'll probably have to. I just think they're pushing to release them. They're trying to find some kind of little niche in there to let it go. I think, and you know what? I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it did.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, what did happen, unfortunately, was what they did. Obviously,
right?
Yeah, and that just wasn't cool, man. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Do you guys know what pickleball is?
What?
Pickleball? Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
You do? Okay. Well, I guess it has become a thing in the prisons now. Like several of the prisons are implementing this sport, and have this as an active sport for guys to play. Folsom, Vacaville, I think Sacramento Medical, and San Quentin are some of them. And I believe it was either yesterday or Sunday. Scott Peterson was on the yard, at Mule Creek playing pickleball when he hit the ball a little too hard, hitting his opponent. And I guess the guy didn't take it so well, and Scott Peterson got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
For that. Yes. And I didn't ever know what pickleball was, but after I read that, I'm like, I got to look this up. And it says it's like the fastest growing sport in America right now. It's becoming like a huge thing.
I've heard of it, but I don't recall knowing how it's played, but I have heard of it.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
It kind of looks like tennis, but I don't know all the details. I didn't have time to look at all the different details. But they do use these kind of paddles to hit the ball, and I guess it's super popular right now, though.
That's how it got. That's what happened. I was reading that it got beat up, but I didn't know why. I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah, he got jumped on for that. Yeah, Cholo says, remember, most family abusers never get caught because it never gets brought to light. That is true. That is true. It's normally the family secret,
Yeah.
For sure.
Unfortunately, Unfortunately. But, I don't know. I know. And because I'm going to go on a very thin limb here.
Mm-hmm.
With everything going on today, all the social media, all the outlets, it should be minimized. Let me put it like that. I'm not going to say it shouldn't happen. And it should be a lot easier, whatever. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not seeing the situation. But it should be minimal to that extent. But then again, allow me to play advocate here. The other side of it too, when there has been cases, as we all know, when children do scream for help, say at school, and they just don't really follow through up with it, and unfortunately the worst happens. So I think sometimes we need to kind of pay close attention to what's going on, I mean, and I'm saying that because I've worked for a school district, and there was a case where I did see situations, and it was like you start to analyze that a little bit, look into it a little deeper, But
there's literally at the high school. I think all of my kids graduated from that one. that they graduated from, there is literally at this moment 3 teachers, 3 separate teachers who are either behind bars awaiting trial or have already been sentenced for acts on children.
Oh yeah.
From the local high
school. Yeah.
From the same high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a couple of my kids, once they heard about it, were like, oh yeah, we were always wondering what his problem was. And the last one was a female. Wow. And my daughter was like, you know what? She was really weird. Like she always wanted to be up in the mix. She wanted to know what everyone was doing. Like, hey, you know, where are you guys going tonight? What's going on? Like she wanted to be one of them, you know? And apparently she really wanted to be one of them. It was like really awful to hear about, but that's why I'm like, I hate to feel like I'm overprotective, but I am like with my youngest now, I don't go for the whole sleepovers and things like that. I just don't trust people.
Yeah. I don't let my girls sleep anywhere.
No, it's hard to, you know, you don't know who's who nowadays, you know? I mean, really, at the end of it all, like, it's gotten to that point, unfortunately, you know?
Right. I remember that.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to, actually, the table command. I read this so. But yeah, I mean, you know what? It's unfortunately, guys, it happens. You know, it does happen.
Stay vigilant, like not only for our own children, but if we see something crazy or that doesn't look right, you know, bring it up.
Well, and you know what? I mean, I'm not going to get, you know, all. But I'll tell you what, that's one thing as a father that stresses me out. You know, because especially when you don't have that, sometimes, you know, and speaking in general, you don't have that contact, you naturally worry about what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on at school even. You know, are they being bullied or, you know, or what's going on, you know, whatever situation, you know. And that's not taken away from the other parent or whatnot. You know, that's just a natural instinct to oneself, you know.
Right.
So it does get stressful. I mean, it does. We're living in a whole different world now. Again, going back to the devices to track somebody, you know.
Yeah.
You know, how do we know somebody that doesn't slip one of those things into whatever, you know?
That's so scary.
Somebody, you know, we live in a time where people would pickpocket. Now somebody's actually putting something in your pocket, you know, and it's like,
right?
You know, what the heck? Like, it's weird, you know, but I mean, you know, anybody can say, oh, come on, Brad, that's a little too far. Hey, nothing's too far nowadays, man. Nothing's too far now. There's a lot of weird people out there, you know. And they don't, you know, and that's one thing too, though, that, you know, when I was a kid, we always looked at, the burglar and the crook, you know, he came with a little golf hat with a mask and then stripes, you know. No, that's not the case. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. I mean, look at it. We do this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going on my little soapbox here, but we didn't have people to betray us. You know, that sometimes we look back and be like, man, I didn't think this person was ever going to, you know, would have done that to me, you know. But hey, so what's to say anybody else for that matter?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. It's a very hard thing. I think it's a very serious thing that I mean, I think we kind of sometimes gloss over things and don't really look at things in detail. Like, wait a minute, you know, it's happened to me a couple of times where I kind of like wonder, like, you know, I overheard the situation and I was like, no, because your guts will tell you first.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into details, guys, but I put a stop to it. And then it was kind of like it went over my head, you know what I mean? I was overruled and stuff. Yeah. And I'll just put it to you like this: we got into an argument because I stood my ground.
Yeah.
Because there was just no way I was going to let that happen. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes I think that's another thing too. And when if you're fortunate enough to have both parents or her or whichever one it is, to really pay close attention to the surroundings of people and stuff and their intentions.
Yeah.
It could be a best friend. It could be whatever.
Yeah. You never
You know?
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Just
never
You know,
know.
never know.
we didn't even let my daughter's friends stay over here because it was so because it was both of us, mother and father in the home. Like we would be cautious, just like just everywhere around. Like we didn't let them stay, and we didn't let, because kid. I mean, I'm not saying that all kids do this, but parents too that hate on you a little bit might say something or come up with this
Yeah.
lie or whatever, and you're just sitting there going, "What? Like, what are you?"
Well,
What are
Yeah.
you saying? Not that it happened. I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it could happen.
Right. I mean, that's a honest concern. Like, you never know. I mean, people always say, "Oh, you want to believe, the
Right.
accuser," and for the most part, you do, yes. But you do. That is a thought that crosses your mind. Like, anybody could say something happened to them. So it's we have to be very careful as adults, like you said, to not put ourselves in a position where that could ever happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, guys? I'll tell you guys one thing that I would do before was whenever there was family members and there was children, you know, whether it was male or female, whichever, you know, I was always in the surroundings of the other adult,
Yeah.
you know, in the view of the other adult, because you don't know what kid can say anything about you as well, you know. So when it was time to go, when I was like, okay, I'm feeling tired or whatever, I would make sure everybody was, whether it's, in front of, in front of the other person,
Yeah.
and walk into the room and I lock the door.
Yeah.
Get away and lock the door. That's it. That's it. I have no access to come out or anybody to come in or, I'm just going to use this or whatever situation. No, no, no. You got no business in there. That's it. I would lock the door and then they would be like, hey, how come you lock the door? Or what do you want? Just kind of don't open the door. And then that's, and not because, people can look at it different ways. People tend to flip things around. It's not for one's protection.
Yeah.
It's not for one's protection, because it's an awful thing. It's an awful thing, man. It's a terrible thing, So yeah, I've always been, that kind of person that's like, no, man, like I just don't, I don't trust people. I don't trust anybody. And I will say this. I mean, on a personal level, my circle got very small, smaller even now, and that's it. Just leave it at that. You know what I mean? That's it.
We had that happen with an elderly person, you guys, and it was scary. It was pretty scary to be accused of something like that, and knowing where this person, how could I say this without saying names? Just knowing the person that had that job, the job that that they had, could be affected by these accusations. That was against an elderly person. That was the worst. It was what? First of all, that would not ever happen. And she's sound in mind to talk and say what really happened, which thank God she was, and right away these people think, oh, the elderlies, they don't remember, they don't,
Yeah.
But no, in our situation, yeah, this elderly person was old, was sound in mind to tell these other people that no, that didn't happen. It didn't happen that way you're saying it,
Yeah.
Right.
So good thing for that, because if not, like I said, jobs could have been affected, lives could have been transformed and just destroyed, So we just have to, we got to be vigilant of that and
be aware. Like Choco says, be aware of our surroundings.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, though, is one of the good things too is I think having the cameras now, the Ring cameras as well. So who shows up to your home, and you can use that as protection. Like, hey, this situation or whatever the case may be. Those are, I think, very vital things to have. Unfortunately, sometimes they're abused as well and not used for the right things. But for the most
Right.
part, I think it should be,
Mhm.
you know,
That's a
it should
good
be
one.
taken
Yeah,
into, you know, I mean,
it should. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I do have Ring cameras on the outside of my home, but I
Mhm.
know people put them on the inside of their homes too. So that's
yeah,
something I would consider. Let me read this comment. Pearl says, when my sister had a girl sleepover for my niece, she sent her husband and my nephews to a girl for a boy sleepover for the girl's parents to feel more comfortable. Oh, okay. So she sent them. Yeah, I've
For
heard.
boys and over, right?
I would
Yeah.
get that. Something like
Yeah,
that to be
that would be
comfortable.
cool too. I never thought of that.
Yeah, like the boys go have their time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Girls, yeah. But here's the crazy thing, like that makes sense to me, Pearl. That would make me feel more comfortable. But at the same time,
Yeah.
like without going too deep into it, the one time I was allowed to go to a sleepover, right? A slumber party, all girls. These people were the youth people of an old church that I went to. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old.
Mhm.
And I already felt really uncomfortable because the girls were talking about stuff that I had no idea. Like I was very sheltered. So it was way over my head, the things they were saying. And
yeah,
I remember the mom told me, come here, come here. You know, she wanted to like talk to me. And she like put me on her lap. And
Wow.
when she did, she like made it seem like she accidentally like groped me. And then she made a comment about how developed I was for my age.
oh, my
And I was so horrified. I was already very shy girl and like was not allowed to go
Yeah.
around. And I, thank God, had the sense to call my mom right away, you know,
Wow.
and she came and got me. But several months later, it came out that that woman and her husband both had been doing things to
Oh,
children.
no.
wow,
So I was like, thank God it didn't go any worse for me
Yeah.
when I was there, but I feel awful for the kids that it did happen to.
Wow.
And
yeah,
that church like kind of obviously went away, and the next pastor that came in started having people have to go through background checks and
yeah,
really cracked down on who was involved, especially in children's ministry.
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? I mean, even then, you know, that's not a safe haven. You know, you
Yeah.
still got to be cautious with people. You know, I mean, I had one situation where I had my, and I won't say any names, but there was an individual, a couple, and the dad was like, "Hey, you know, could you stay over at our house tonight?" I was, you know, usually the kids will come,
Yeah.
you know, and be like, "Hey, can we stay over?" You know, she wants me to stay
Right.
over. No, no, this was the dad, and that right away was like a huge red flag to me. Like, oh, what the, you know, you know, what do you, why are you so concerned about that, bro? You know what I mean? It just struck me bad. You know,
Yeah.
it struck me bad, and it just, you know, and I'm the kind of person, guys, and I will say this, a confession.
Yes, Jojo.
I don't know where this came. I could really hear a person when somebody. I can really hear that what they really mean if I'm not facing them. If I cannot
Yeah.
see them and I hear them talk, I can
Yeah.
hear their. It's like a blind person kind of thing, you know, like what
It
the
makes
heck?
sense. It's like I've heard of that before. I forget what it's called, but it's almost like a sixth sense that you can
Mhm.
pick up on when you're using more of your, I don't know, your inner self to kind of judge
Yeah,
somebody's way, the way they say something or how it's said. I don't know. I get
yeah.
what you're
The tone, the difference in the tone, the laugh, the you know, the you could hear the emotion. You know, I it just kind of like hit me like everything just like you know like
Like
Peter
discernment,
Parker,
right?
man, like the spider senses came in like what the heck, like
Yeah.
right.
and yeah, so yeah, I remember that too
Wow.
was a
Yeah.
thing, but I was not about to just take that laying down, you know, laying down. I stood front and center. I was like, oh heck no, like you know,
Mhm. Yeah, I like what
So,
Joel said there
Yeah.
too. Is when he coached
yeah,
Little League for years, it was very important
yeah,
never to be alone one on one with a child. I think that is
exactly.
right,
Exactly.
spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man, that's true, guys. I mean, sometimes people think like, well, what's wrong with that? You don't trust yourself. No, 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 no. It's for my protection. You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
for our own protection as adults. Because
Hmm.
if it could be male or female,
Hmm.
kid, I mean, so yeah, it's important. I think it's important for us to.
Strange.
I mean, it's just bad that we have to live like that, But
I
I mean,
know. I know.
but it's
But we
better,
have to, we have to protect ourselves and protect the children as well. Like it goes both ways. You have to really be vigilant and be aware of things like that.
Yeah,
I did see an interview on one of the news stations. I forget what it was, and it's where they were talking to teachers about stuff like this, and the
Mhm.
teachers were saying how heartbreaking it is to not be able to hug children anymore. Like there was
yeah,
something that came up in their school district where the teachers are basically told like no full on like hugging the
Yeah.
kids.
yeah.
They have to be very cautious and kind of just side hug them. And I honestly, I agree. Like that's probably best because
Yeah.
you never know when it's either a real thing happening or it can be perceived as something that it wasn't either. So
No, yeah.
it's just
That's one thing too, though, that would happen sometimes. Sometimes you get those children, 'cause, again, when you work at a school district or whatnot, you get
Mm.
those children that really kind of like, hey, and as soon as you kind of put your hands up. Oh, sorry, guys, but you put your hands up like, hey, get away, like get away. You put your hands up because it's kind of like I don't want. But then it could be like you could pat him on the head or whatnot, or it's just like oh he groped her, or groped him or whatever the case may be. Same thing with and it's coming from driving the bus as well. You sit on the bus and you know you make sure they keep going and
mhm.
whatever the situation is. A lot, and I will say this: I'm going to stand up for bus drivers in general, but more particularly school bus drivers. It's not an easy job, guys. I mean, people think, oh yeah, it's just easy to just hey, you're driving a bus or whatever. It has the pros and cons, but you have to not only be safe, but you have to also be cautious, and
Yeah.
not only just cautious of the road, but cautious for everyone on board as well.
That's
With
right.
the child, I experienced, because you got children of all ages.
Hmm.
Some children, and I'll say it, they'll be hitting their puberty point,
Yeah.
and they're acting a certain way, and it's like, hey man, you got to sit over here in the front,
Yeah.
and
Oh my God.
whatever you got to, and they're like, why, Mr. Frank, why, but man, just do what I tell you. That's
Man.
it, you really got to keep an eye on that stuff,
Yeah.
you
Hats
know.
off to the bus drivers, man. We gave our bus driver hell.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
He nagged
That's
him
the
so
thing,
bad. It was,
Right.
but
he looked
one
like
thing,
Hulk Hogan. He passed away a year ago. He looked exactly like Hulk Hogan, my bus
oh,
driver.
Really?
Oh
man,
Aw.
that
yeah,
would have
he
been
was,
a
he
tough
was so
person.
cool though.
I would be like, hey, bro, I'm cool. I'm like, no, but
He would stop for us on the block. Like if we were running to the bus stop and we missed, we missed the bus, he would stop. Like he wasn't
Oh,
oh,
supposed to do that.
okay,
He
yeah,
would like stop for us, because
yeah,
yeah.
probably because there was more than one. But
yeah. I
yeah,
learned later on in life becoming a bus driver myself. I learned to respect my bus drivers, man. It's
I
like,
bet. Yeah.
and then really, and I will say this: anybody that's driving, anybody, I don't care who it is, anybody that's driving you somewhere, respect them.
yeah,
Yes.
Because they're driving you, man. It's like,
Yeah.
and I don't mean nothing by this, guys. I drove transits, and you have some people on there that are just, you know, um, they're just weird, like not weird, rude is what I meant to say.
Hmm.
Rude, just completely rude and just disregarded of anything they treat you like you're dirt.
Yeah.
And there's one time I had some special needs people on there,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying nothing by that. I'm just stating.
Yeah.
because of what society tends to look at people sometimes, and so on and so forth in those conditions. And I made a wrong turn, and I'm like, oh man, I go, hey guys, it's gonna be a little bit longer, but I'll get you to your spot. I'm gonna just have to go take a little bit, an extra block to get back to
Right.
anything. And the guy tells me, hey, you know what? As long as we don't crash, we're okay. Never disrespect the person driving you anywhere. And I was like, wow. Opposed to supposedly the person who's smart and has everything or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different case. It was a different case. And I learned a lot driving transit. And aside from everything happened, because I'm not going to make it sound like, oh my God, it happens every day. It happens every day. And you really got to be on your toes because it's like crazy. It's a war zone out here. No, it's not like it's not. Once you get the hang of things, you know what to look for. You know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I will 9 times, 10 times, 20 times drive school children for an hour in the Detroit transits.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's
You know what? Bus drivers that drive transits should be getting paid what CEOs get paid.
That's
I knew that seriously.
I honestly, I could never do that job. I definitely know that my nerves would never allow for me to do that job. I would have a total mental breakdown.
Oh, you got people trying to get on board for free. You got people trying to give you, phones and to get a ride, and nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because just if I'm driving and my kids are being loud, I'm like, okay, you gotta stop now because I'm pulling over. Don't. Yeah, and that's not going to be any good. I can't have a bunch of noise and
neither, man.
Going on when I'm driving.
My sister would be like, I'll be like, how can you drive with these kids yelling? Oh, turn up the music. Just turn up the music. I'm like, no, that's even worse. On top of yelling, screaming, and I'm like, nah, dude, we need, I have to be like you, just quiet.
You know what's funny, guys? I would play the radio on the bus, and it's the radio. I don't know if I told you guys on here before, right?
No,
so I would play the radio on the school bus, and just the kids were, they like it, and I'm a music enthusiast, so I like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
So it'd be rock, it'd be like Crazy Town, playing the song Butterfly. I love that song. So it's like, all right, and stuff, and just a bunch of different songs, right? And so one day I'm going, and all of a sudden I hear, oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I'm like, and then she's like, and I turned it off. I turned it off, right? It's got
That's funny.
a full bus of kids.
Oh,
turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on. What the heck? Well, I mean, it's on the radio, but it's just kind of, what that way, guys, okay, hey, man, no, I just found it that they would play it at that time of the day on the radio when kids are, getting out of school and whatnot, what the heck?
I didn't know the school I didn't know the buses had a radio until the first time.
Turn it off, all right, cool. But I still got to be able to hear everybody in the back sometimes, So it was, like I said, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you just, hey, you know what? I mean, it's on the radio. It's not going to go, it's not going to say anything,
too far.
Whatever song, yeah. So you just kind of, okay, but you kind of be like, okay, hold on, guys, let me think about that. And you kind of wait for the song to get kind of happening, but I mean, yeah, it's difficult a little bit too, though, because you don't want to come back to parents and go, hey, man, my son was talking about you in the bus, and you want to know who sings the song,
Oh my gosh,
like I said, hey, had those fun moments. I remember I couldn't stop laughing. I really couldn't. I had to maintain myself. I'm driving, I'm cracking up at the same time. I go, But, you know,
Oh, funny. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about that, but you're right. I remember being on the bus for like middle school and high school. My bus drivers would have it like on KDON, so something like that
yeah,
could have gone.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like, wow, like okay, you know. So yeah, no, man, those are fun, fun times, man, fun times. You know, again, again, like it's not always, oh my God, this craziness, but it's, it has its fun moments, man. And look back and kind of grin a little bit, like, wow, that's, and I'll tell you that like this, due to my current situation, I missed that. I really missed that. I missed it a lot. I missed it a lot. I wish I could have gone a few more years, and
No.
I look back and I miss it, because it's not so much as just the whole thing with the relationship with the children, Sometimes it's like, oh, the kids will come up, and I'm going on a different memory here, guys. The kids will come up in the morning and be like, Mr. Fred, are you coming to the bus this afternoon? Yeah. All right. They're all happy because Mr. Fred was a cool driver, but I kept it also, too, like, hey, you guys got to
Yeah.
sit down. You guys got to put your seatbelts. You got to,
Mhm.
and like, you have to hear the radio or whatnot, So, yeah, those are good times, man. Those are good times.
Yeah.
But I'm
That's
sorry, I went off into my own little thing here, guys. But
no,
anyway,
No, that's
about it.
cool.
Like
Really cool.
care
Brought
about
back a lot of memories. Like I said, our bus driver passed last year. And it came on Facebook, and I was like, wait, what? But
Aw.
I thought he was like, I mean, I didn't think of him at all after junior high. I
Mhm.
really,
yeah.
I didn't, but it came out on Facebook that he had passed, and I was like,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow,
no.
Roy, what a trip.
Yeah.
It's cool that some of us kept in touch with them. Like friends that posted that, was still in touch with him, and I was like shocked to see that. But
Yeah.
And,
I could see that happening though with them.
and I will say this: there's no such thing as a cool bus driver. I will say that there's no such thing as a cool bus driver. See,
Yeah,
I would consider to be a cool bus driver, right?
Uh-huh.
But cool to the kids that actually listened.
yeah.
Because then you have ones that are just out, just a handful.
I'm gonna say this in sense of him letting us do not what we wanted to do. Like we never
Yeah.
did anything like walk around the bus while he was
Oh
driving,
no,
nothing like
yeah,
that. But we
that's
sat at the
that's a
back
little
of the
different.
bus, and when he'd go on bumps, we would like make a big old thing
Yeah,
about it. He was
yeah,
cool in a sense where like he let us all talk and stuff. Like he wasn't, you guys got to be quiet while I'm driving. He wasn't like that. He was
yeah.
cool in a sense where he let a lot of things slide.
Yeah, oh yeah, sometimes you have to, and that's a kind of a, what, maybe some people will agree, and some people will disagree. But I'll tell you what, the thing is that sometimes it establishes a good relationship between the driver and the student, because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
student will be like, okay, you know what, I know I am not supposed to do this, so I'm
Mhm.
not going to do this. But they kind of stay on that border, you know what I mean? Like they know, like, hey, you know what, hey, stop, or whatever situation. They
Right.
know what not to do. So it makes your job a lot easier and give them a much fun ride.
Mhm.
One of the things I will say, uh, I walked into class one day, into one of the classrooms. This is around a few years ago. And I walked into the classroom, and some kids were there, and they were already like, I think it was, because it was an elementary, I think they were like seventh or eighth
Mm.
graders, something, right? And
Mhm.
I went in to go do something to the class, and then I was coming out of the classroom, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what time, but I was coming out of the classroom, and some kids say, "Hey, Mr. Fred," 'cause that's what they were calling me, Mr. Fred. I'll be like, "Yeah, hey man, that's what's up." And I'm like, "That's what's up? Like, what are you guys talking about? Hey man, we seen you on Cholo Trucker." And I was like, "What the heck?"
Oh,
Like, well, what? Just like, these
Right
kids
on.
will research you like you would not believe, man.
that's
They
funny.
found me on Cholo Trucker. I'm like, it was the thing. I think it was around the time I met him. When I met Cholo Trucker on the time on online and stuff when we did the interview.
Mm.
And I remember dropping them off at some point, in the bus or whatever, and they have like a speaker connected to the phone, and be like, "Hey, Mr. Fred, is this really you?" And they're playing the music from like iTunes or whatever. I'm like, "All right, have a good day, guys."
Aw, that's cute.
But,
Right
you know,
on.
that's a cool thing, you know.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know,
Imagine if there was cameras on the bus when he stopped for us, because every other block was a bus stop. Every other block, right?
Yeah.
So me and my sister would run out because we're almost late to school, and we lived like 2 houses from the corner. So we'd be running out of our house to the stop, and he would just stop right there. Imagine if those cameras, he would have
Right.
no, yeah, well, see, no camera at
got
the
in
time
trouble for
either.
that,
But,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, you guys froze for a minute. Imagine
That's
if
how
there
I
was cameras on the
remember
bus
it.
when he stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in middle school and high school, what Cholo and Strange Day says, that's how I remember kids, especially like in the back of the bus, it was going down. All kinds of stuff was going on.
yeah, no, yeah, man. It's just give us a hard time there, guys. Give us a hard time there.
I
Especially
bet.
now, it's dangerous, you know, because now they have all these things nowadays, you know. It's like it's different, you know, but hopefully that's not happening too much no more, you know. But well, then again, there's cameras now, so you can spot somebody quick now. It's hard to get away with stuff, you
Yeah.
know. That it is due to the cameras. That's a good thing, you know.
Right. Yeah, definitely
Yes,
is. Definitely.
definitely. You know,
Sure. So what do we have going on this next week? Do either one of you have anything exciting you're looking forward to?
ladies first, Denise. Go ahead.
Me, gosh. Let me see. No, nothing really. Just they're doing a car wash for that couple I told you guys about. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time.
For a couple?
My husband's homeboy's parents
Oh,
passed away. Yeah, they're doing a car wash for them. So
oh, that was recent. I didn't realize that was wow.
not this Monday, the other Monday that passed.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
Prayer
Monday,
that-
yeah, so that's it. I mean, nothing really like plan right now.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing really set in stone right now. I think Mel will come up with something.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just had like tomorrow my daughter does her driving test in the morning, so that's exciting. Hopefully she passes. And on the 18th or 19th, I got to double check. Denise, you know this, but my grandson was born with a cleft lip. So he will have his first surgery appointment at Stanford. So I'll go ahead and go with my daughter and her fiance. And I think the other grandma's going too. So we're going to tag along and just make sure we're all understanding the whole process and how it's going to go. And fortunately, he was born with the very least of how it can affect a child. He didn't have like a cleft palate. It didn't go into his nose area, just slightly on one side. So it's interesting though. They we're very blessed that they detected it actually in an ultrasound, and the same doctors that followed along the ultrasounds will be the same ones that kind of follow along throughout his life and do like his surgeries, because I didn't realize, but when you have that surgery, your lip scar tissue never, from what I understand, never grows with you. It stays like the same size as when they operate. So they have to do scar revisions throughout a child's life to sort of make the appearance more, aesthetic and to the eye. And they keep in mind, kids can be cruel and they can be like hateful about stuff. So it made me feel good to see that like all the doctors are going to be on board. Like they have a facial doctor, like the oral surgeon, that all of them will be there and like fill us in on things. So I feel very confident and happy that my daughter got the doctor she did.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Stomps. So yeah.
I think I was able to share with you. I had a friend that homegirl of mine had a baby like that, where it was all through his nose, up the palate. Like we had, and it was weird, not weird, but she was cool enough to be like, no, I want you guys to learn how to
Yeah.
You know, we're around her. We're homegirls. We're going to be around her. So not only friends from, you know, just friends, period, just always with her. And so she showed us how to put the tube down his, you know, feed him through the little bottle about this big and pour it in there and went straight to his stomach. It was a trip, you guys, just learning all the stuff. But not only that, seeing him as an adult now, I mean, amazing surgeons. Amazing.
Wow.
You can't even, you can barely tell. Well, that one, you can barely, because I had two friends, actually, one from church had a baby like that too. And he's still a teen. He's not over 20 yet. And looks like nothing ever happened to him, you know? But yeah, surgeons, I guess too, they're more advanced than what they were 20 years ago.
Jesse.
So
thank you.
Gonna be
Jesus' name. Right. Yeah, he will. And fortunately, my little JJ is what I call him. He's able to eat on his own. Believe me, he's not having no trouble eating. He was.
Yeah.
Went to the doctor today, and he's almost 11 pounds already. So.
Wow. No, yeah, you know what, guys? The technology today, the medicine today, technology is amazing, man. What they can do, you know.
Definitely is. Yeah.
I mean, Jen, you said it yourself. They caught it on the ultrasound.
Yeah,
you know,
that's crazy, right?
Never been a thing in.
Man, those ultrasounds today are just from when I had my baby at 19 and
right
the 90s. Oh man, like these babies are smiling at you, waving and things out.
You can see them yeah, it's crazy, but it's really cool to see it. Yeah, that's wild. That's kind of what I have going on over the next week. So
nice.
I don't know. We'll see what comes up. You know, I need to, and I'm going to, and I want to start, you know, filming content and putting videos out again and getting back into a groove of something that's comfortable for me and really getting back into putting content out on my channel. I had so many things that sort of just were thrown my way with family stuff, but I'm ready to get back into it. And I feel like I'm going to be doing things that might be different from what I've done in the past, because I feel like I'm changing, like as I get older, as my interests are changing. So, you know, you might see some things that are like, wow, I didn't know, you know, you were into that. Or so just, I don't know. Stay tuned in. We'll see.
I'm in the same boat. I've been wanting to film stuff too, and it just like for one reason or another, something comes up, but we'll get to it. You know, we'll get to it when that happens.
Definitely do it. Even my daughter said, she's like, I think I'm going to start like getting into like, she's thinking maybe TikTok and like doing mommy content for her. I'm like, do it. Like, do something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Hey,
if that's all you know, that's what she's doing right now, then Mama's always telling me, film when you're in the store. Like when you go to the, you know, when you go to the store, just throw it on, you know, do something. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I like seeing it. Like when you go places, Denise, like I really look forward to like when you post it on Instagram or whatever, because for someone like myself, I'm pretty isolated for the most part, you know, pretty tied down with taking care of the family and kids. So it's nice to see like what it's like where you live or when you go somewhere. And I enjoy that. So yeah. Definitely.
Definitely. That always helps. It's kind of cool. Just guys, don't put on your location and just put it up later, you know, because you have to be safe. You got to be safe out there too.
Yeah, you got to think of all that safety first.
Yeah, safety first. Always, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, everyone.
Oh, hold on. What? See, I got some stuff going on this week too, as well. I got some stuff well, you know what? I'm still debating about. I might do some more content because I had one up and ready to go.
Okay.
But I'm debating whether I'm going to let it go or not. I may not, so I'm going to do something new.
Okay.
That and the big thing for Friday, either way, I'll be on with June at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right?
Yes,
And,
this
I
Friday.
look forward to being on this channel and really give them some good content as far as the interview and stuff like that. Which I will say this, and I will say this, guys. Um, and this is not a promotional thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming straight from my heart to that. G Lou will be the first one to really touch bases and really touch down on my actual story of
Wow.
what the things I went through.
Okay.
No, that's so great. Right? And really touch down on my actual story that very few and far in between know. I have said some of the things. I don't know if people were, you had really taken into account. Some people don't care. I get it. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think it should be told. Just the way it is because it does. Well, that's a more personal thing. It's not. It's not about me in the sense. It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just a unique story. Let me just put it that way. It's
Yeah.
a unique story, and I really I want to bring to him what he's bringing to me as well. So we're meeting in the middle and making something really great. So
Well, I think that
I'm looking forward.
That's
yes,
cool.
that is the perfect connection right there. Like he's the perfect person to interview you for, such a situation as yours and music. And, that's going to be a really amazing interview to watch. So I look forward to getting to know
Yep.
that part of you, especially
you.
on the channel. So we will be tuned in for sure.
No, definitely. And you know what? One other thing though, before I get to go, due to that interview, shout out to Cholo Tucker, man. Thank you for making it. Thank you for making it happen, man. So he was kind of the guy who said, "Hey, I think you should be on this," and here we are. So we're going for it. So
Right on.
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Tune
It'll be
in.
good.
That's
Definitely.
right. Okay, guys. Well, you know what it is next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. As we always say, if you have a comment or a topic that you would like us to touch on, leave it in the comments. That's what I meant to say. And give us something we can dig into for you. Drop it in the comments. But until then, good evening, buenas noches, and thank you for tapping in and blessing us with your presence tonight. Shout out to my co-hosts. You guys have a blessed night as well. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.